It's that time of year again, spooky season is upon us, and that means that new secrets, Easter eggs, and rewards have been added into Cold War Zombies. But not only can you get a bunch of really cool stuff from those, but there's also a permanent Easter egg in the game that we're going to be talking about today that I think is probably the scariest Easter egg in the entirety of Cold War Zombies, and might actually be one of the scariest Easter eggs we've ever had in a Call of Duty Zombies title. Like, it's really cool, and the reward is amazing, but it's pretty damn creepy. So if you're brave enough to watch this all the way through, then stick around, and without further ado, we'll get into some of those new secrets and rewards that they've just added specifically for spooky season. When you jump into the game, you'll notice that zombies, plague hounds, and mimics all have pumpkins on their heads. Now, this is a question for you down in the comments section. Do you call these things pumpkins like me, or do you call them jack-o'-lanterns? Either way, when you take down an enemy that has one of these mysterious orange devices on its head, you'll get an essence bonus, which is pretty nice, and sometimes you can run over to it when it drops it onto the floor, and inside you can get some crazy rewards. As you can see here, I'm pretty early in my game, and I got a double pack-a-punched M79 for free, just out of the blue. You can also get score streaks, which is pretty amazing, and you can get chalices, which will upgrade the weapon that you're holding on the spot. This is basically the equivalent of an ether wrench, which upgrades your weapon's rarity on the spot, and that can also drop out of these too. Now, something I have never seen before in the game that you can also get is a purple armor vest. So a regular blue armor vest obviously just gives you one plate of armor, but a purple vest will give you 2 plates. So that's going to save you a huge amount of salvage in getting upgraded and getting set up in your game. These things are just like OP, man. And alongside all of those orange fleshy hats that the zombies are wearing, you can also find orange supply drop crates around the maps as well. These also contain absolutely bonkers rewards, and you can get things like ammo mods, which I don't think I mentioned before, as well. These crates, also known as scare packages, will spawn in every 5 rounds and in every outbreak region, so make the most of them while they're there. Now, let's talk about the permanent Easter egg that will always be available in Cold War Zombies, but that is pretty damn unsettling. And honestly, I think one of the best things to do with this is to troll your friends with it and not tell them how to finish the egg, just to see their reaction when they start getting haunted by a ghost in-game. Yes, you heard that correctly. This egg actually lets you do that to people. It's amazing. So, first things first, when you're opening the map up in your game, come into this room that I'm in here and throw a grenade at the VHS tape that's lying kind of propped up against the wall. When you've blown it up with a grenade, you're going to be able to lie down and pick that VHS tape up. Or if you're going to troll a friend, get them to pick it up. Then tell your friend to follow you into this shop here and get them to place the VHS they picked up inside this VCR machine. Once they've done that, the tape will be inside and the VCR machine will now be able to play the tape whenever you go over to it and hold square. But it isn't just going to play a video for you in front of you on the TVs, it's going to actually play a Simon Says game. This is a classic in Zombies at this point. It's been in pretty much all the Zombies modes that we've experienced over the last 10 years. You'll definitely be making your friend's life easier if you're holding the zombie for them at this point, but if your friend is in solo, then that's you, it's not your friend. And so I'd recommend maybe mantling and unmantling on the table here just to kind of avoid whatever crawler that you might have remaining in your match. So, Simon Says, if you know how this works, you can skip forward 60 seconds, but if not, I'll quickly explain. There are going to be 4 TVs in front of you that blink in a certain order, and each one has a color associated with it. Now, I think the easiest way to do this is to ignore the colors, to be honest, and just number the TVs. So left to right, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. And so when they blink through that order in front of you, you just need to quickly jot that order down, because once they finish blinking, it's going to be your turn to repeat the pattern back to the TVs. And you do that simply by shooting the TVs in the order that they blinked. You'll know you've activated a given TV when it lights up, and then you can move on to whichever the next one was in your sequence. When you've finished repeating back that 4 TV pattern, the game is going to give you an 8 TV pattern. So it's going to be the 4 that you originally had, and then 4 more after that. And once it's done blinking through them, you just need to repeat that back. So repeat the 4 that you originally had, and then repeat the 4 that they gave you in this kind of second round. On completion, you'll have to do that 1 more time, so you'll end up with a 12 TV blink sequence that you repeat back. And if you do it successfully, you'll get a green TV lit up in the middle there that you can go and activate in a moment. But first, a word of warning. Because you're getting 3 sort of sections of 4 TV blinks, there is a chance that at the end of one section, you end on a certain TV, and that same TV is the one that you need for the start of the next 4. And if this happens, just go slow, because I failed in my game here when I was too impatient and I shot the end TV in a set of 4, and then it was the next TV that I needed to shoot anyway, so I just shot it again, and it was too quick, I guess, for the game, and it just failed me out of it. So be patient, go slow there, but obviously if you've got to shoot a different TV next, then you can just move on and you don't need to be like nearly as slow. So that's fine. It's just if you've got repeated TVs at any point. Now then, assuming you've done it correctly and you've got that green TV lit up in front of you, remember, it's your friend that is going to go and activate this, right? You want them to be haunted. So tell them to run over to it, hold activate on that green TV, and their screen is gonna go black and white. You're gonna get a kind of TV static effect, and to their horror, hopefully, they're gonna see a spectral figure that is the stuff of nightmares spawning into the map and slowly, steadily walking towards them to take their life. If this ghost catches them, they will die. And honestly, who wants to get caught by the scary ghost in the horror game, right? Nobody. So your friend's gonna be absolutely terrified, hopefully, running away from this thing, and after a little bit, it's actually gonna disappear. Their screen's gonna go back to normal and they're gonna be fine. But then, a little bit later, it's just gonna spawn back in again. It's just gonna be there. They're gonna be haunted all over again, and they're not gonna know that it's gonna jump out at them another time, and so it's gonna catch them off guard, and I promise you, it's gonna be glorious. Now, when you've had enough of bullying your friend, you can then kind of make it up to them, rebuild your friendship by letting them know that there's actually an incredible reward you can get from finishing this Easter egg. This isn't the end of it. So when you're done being haunted by the girl from the ring, tell your friend to go and buy tombstone. And by the way, this is only going to work, I believe, if you have tier 5 tombstone. So you need to make sure that's fully upgraded in your skill trees in the game's menus before you start your game. But assuming everyone has everything maxed out at this point, tell them to get tombstone and then run over to this particle accelerator area. Then you need to down yourself and you'll spawn in as your tombstone kind of reflection, right? And the way the game works is this can spawn you elsewhere on the map, so run back over to the particle accelerator if it spawns you elsewhere, and you should find that the ghost that was chasing you is now on top of this kind of cylindrical machine here. Now for this step in the egg, I'm going to be using a QBZ, but you can use other weapons too, don't worry. You just need to shoot the ghost up there that has glowing eyes, and the reason I specify that is because it's going to multiply while you shoot it into more and more copies of itself, but you always need to shoot the one that has the glowing eyes. When it's multiplied enough times and you've still kept taking it down, you're finally going to have vanquished the ghost. You're no longer going to be haunted, and you are safe now also to revive yourself. Make sure you do that in time, so run back over to your body and just revive. As you do this, you'll notice that you slurp a perk can as you stand up, and that perk can is going to give you perkaholic. So we went from one of the spookiest, kind of most unsettling Easter eggs in the game to one of the best rewards that you can get, and it doesn't even take that much work. This is a huge power spike, and it's going to save you so much money buying all those perks as well. And you can start this really early in your game. Like, you don't need to do anything crazy before you go and grenade that VHS tape. You can just do that, and that kicks everything off. So I'd say you should probably be doing this in nearly every game that you play on Forsaken, and it's one that even if your friends hate you at first for showing it to them, they'll probably come to appreciate as well. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.